true control is silent. While the crowd chases logic, power moves through timeless fears. This is Power Ledger.
Ladies and gentlemen, asterisk. Most people believe that wealth is built through intelligence, hard work, and a bit of luck. That's the story we're told from the very beginning. But the truth is far darker. Real wealth is rarely built by working harder or thinking smarter. It is built by mastering one thing: psychology. The psychology of control, fear, and greed. When you look at the elite, whether in ancient empires or modern financial markets, you don't just find people who knew how to make money. You find people who understood how to influence the minds of others. So pause for a moment and consider this. What if the real game of wealth isn't about making money at all, but about controlling how people perceive value, risk, and security? Wealth and power are often seen as the result of intelligence, effort, or luck. And while these factors matter, they are not what truly separate the powerful from the rest. The real advantage lies in understanding human behavior under pressure, how people react to fear, how greed clouds judgment, and how perception can be shaped. In markets, in politics, and throughout history, those who rose to the top were not always the strongest or the smartest, but the ones who understood psychology at a deeper level. They knew that controlling emotions often matters more than controlling resources, and that influencing how others think is far more powerful than simply having the right information. Bilko, Nietzsche asterisk surfo speech, Haijo tomne deep da huskok ke baghar. Clean paragraphs mean smooth flow ke sath. Authority tone maintained carte hue. In both historical and modern contexts, the most powerful individuals were not simply the smartest or the hardest working. Instead, they were those who understood human nature at a deep and practical level. They knew how to shape perception, how to create fear, how to manufacture scarcity, and how to manipulate loyalty and trust. Their success did not come from physical strength or superior intellect alone, but from their ability to predict how people would react under pressure. By understanding emotional triggers, they could influence behavior, control outcomes, and position themselves above the rest. This same psychological dynamic is clearly visible in today's financial world. Markets are not driven purely by logic, data, or charts. They are driven by human emotion. Fear of loss, greed for more, anxiety about missing out, and the desire for security all influence decisions far more than rational analysis. Investors often react emotionally to price movements, headlines, and rumors, creating opportunities for those who understand these reactions. Those who can anticipate panic or excitement are able to move ahead, while others hesitate or make costly mistakes. Power and wealth have always followed this pattern. In history, figures like Julius Caesar and Napoleon did not rely solely on military force to rise. They understood how to control perception, how to exploit uncertainty, and how to position themselves as the only solution to chaos. Caesar, for example, consolidated power not just through conquest, but by mastering loyalty and fear both among his supporters and his enemies. His greatest advantage was not the size of his army, but his understanding of how people would respond to his actions. The same principles apply in modern financial systems. The most successful investors and institutions are not merely those with access to better information, but those who understand how information affects behavior. Markets move on narratives, confidence, and trust. News, authority, and perception can shift billions in value within moments. Those who recognize these psychological currents can influence outcomes, manage risk more effectively, and position themselves where others fail. Ultimately, the accumulation of wealth and power is not just a matter of intelligence or strategy. It is the result of understanding human psychology, how emotions override logic, how fear spreads, and how belief shapes reality. Those who master this understanding are able to influence decisions, guide behavior, and quietly control the systems that others believe are random or fair. In the end, power belongs not to those who know the most, but to those who understand the mind.